Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope everybody's having a good day. This is Joe Talks, and this is Little Top. Hope y'all got some good rest, getting up, getting ready to seize your day. This morning we're going to talk about some things that I find kind of interesting, and I found differences in opinion depending on who you talk to. And the topic today is going to be leadership, hazing. Does hazing build good leaders? Does hazing soldiers make a soldier a better soldier and prepare him for the rest of his time in the Army? Now, I can just talk from my position. When I came in the military, hazing was just part of the game. And I'm not saying they beat us all the time and they did this. No, there was some hands-on, but you never took a beating. It just established authority. But today when I talk to a lot of people about the things that happen, they get shocked, like, I can't believe you let them do that to you. Well, at the time, it really wasn't on the docket whether or not I had any choice in that matter. So I was listening to a podcast today talking about how there are better ways to build leaders. And I'm curious to know, I'd like for you all to chime in on this. What do you think about this? The majority of the people who get Little Top stuff, most of y'all are veterans. Honestly, you're like 98% male and probably 90% veteran. So I'd like to know what you think. So if you can, just write in down below and I'll try and answer. I'm going to step over here and see if I can see you all where you're typing in. So give me 1 second. While I'm doing this, what else is going on in your world? There we go, Little Top. All right. All right, if somebody's watching this, if you could just type something in quick so I know that I can see the comments as they come in. All right, let's go ahead and hop on it. So, here are my thoughts on it. Now, today, people don't want you to lay hands on you. They don't want you to yell at you. They want you to talk to them respectfully. And I've seen this a lot in the military, really in about the past 5 or 10 years. I think it's kind of a trend. Or you can't talk to me like that. You're disrespecting me. Well, here are my thoughts on it. Feel free to disagree. When you come in to work for this organization, your thoughts and feelings are really not in the top priority and top tier of what is going on and what is important for this mission. Now, when people would say, well, you're hazing somebody, what they would call hazing, I would say is just trying to teach a lesson. And the way it works in the military from basic training on is you begin by being completely broke down in basic training. Their job is to get everybody to the same level. They shave your melon, they take away your clothes, they don't care about what you really have to say. Everybody starts a baseline. Then they slowly start teaching you the basic tasks that you're going to need to be a soldier and to be able to, work effectively in the military. Now, once this gets going, you'll get assigned to your regular duty unit, your active duty unit. All right, Matt, that's what we're talking about. I'm glad to see you chime in. I want to make sure that I can see y'all's comments as they come. All right, so here are my thoughts on it. When you get a brand new soldier, the first thing you want to do is see what this soldier's made of. So if you smoke him for doing something stupid, you're not doing it to upset him and his mama and his family. You're doing it to say if he can take a little bit of physical pain and continue to drive on with his mission. That's the biggest thing I see happening these days is as soon as something starts hurting, everybody just quits doing it. Oh, that sucks. I'm not going to do that. That's a big no-go. It's definitely a no-go if you're in combat arms. You can't just stop every time something hurts. Everything hurts. So you break them down and you start seeing what they're made of. A good soldier will take the smoking and he will just drive on. All right? And then you'll smoke him again and he'll drive on. Now, once I know that he can handle taking a little bit of pain, then you start giving him tasks to complete. Does he have any leadership qualities? If I say go do this, can you go do it without me sitting over your shoulder telling you this is how you hold the brush and this is how you clean the bowl? Right? I want to know that you complete the mission and do it to a standard that's acceptable to the military. So he may say, well, first he smoked me and then he made me go clean the bathroom. There's a method to this madness, boys. There's a reason I'm riding you like Zorro. And as I see you can start handling that, you start looking at his, does he know his job? Does he know his weapons? Does he know the basics of patrolling? Does he understand his role in the team? Does he understand what he does for the squad? And does he understand 2 levels up big picture? Hell, when you're a private 2 levels up, that's a squad leader. All right, if you don't know what your squad's doing, you're already in the bind. You're just sheep, following people around, letting people shoot at you. So the reason we're doing these things is it starts to progress. And after you understand your job, then you find yourself, whoa, I've been around long enough, went to a couple of these schools on leadership. Maybe you stumble into some stripes on your shoulder. At this point, as a first sergeant, obviously, I think you have got the traits that you need to be a leader. So, I start tasking you with more, but you start getting more mutual respect. At this point, you leave the testing phase and you move into the brotherhood phase. And you don't even have to be an NCO to hit this brotherhood phase. You go fart dust a little bit on the other side of the world with some of your buddies and come back and you tell me you don't feel differently about them men and women. Oh, so really all it is about going through the suck. And all it is about getting to the end state where these men are your brothers no matter where they live. Man, I got people that are like my brothers all over this country. Illinois, David Linebach, Laureano, Command Sergeant Major Han, Reyes, Louisiana's full of my partners. It don't matter where you are. Once you've been through some shit with these boys, they will always be your brothers. But to get there, it's going to have to be a little painful. So I recommend the new generation that's cowboy up, shut up, take your smoking, and begin the development. If not, we're going to be in the bind next time we have to go engage a country that's got a little bit of ass to them. You know, here lately we've been fighting insurgency groups, small religious groups, and terrorist groups. When's the time we locked horns with somebody the same size as us? It's been a long time. It's been a real long time. And if you don't think this world is in a position where in a second you could be on the other side of the world, wishing you were back home at mama eating Cinnabon, it could happen fast. So tell me, y'all chime in down there. Tell me what you think. Is there a new way with these soldiers, without the way that I know, and maybe the way you knew, is there a way to train them to be good soldiers and eventually take leadership positions without smoking them? I'm just curious. So I'm waiting on y'all to chime in. What else we got going on? Pretty much the state of the world is in the same place that it has been in a long time. All right? David Gill says nope. Apparently he thinks we have to keep doing the same thing. Contact counseling. I like that. Ours was wall-to-wall counseling, but I think it's the same idea. Anyway, the world's in the same place. I just thought this was an interesting topic. I listened to a couple podcasts and saw the change in soldiers. Now, I don't want y'all to think, that everybody's born to go in the military. Let me assure you that joining the Army really wasn't on my radar when I was 17 years old. Now, I grew up watching John Wayne movies with my old man. But hell, I grew up watching Westerns too, but I'm not a cowboy. It just wasn't something I thought about doing. But I send off a one free Army t-shirt, and you have the fine specimen of cartoon first sergeant you see before you today. I'll pull up a picture right here. You want to see what a little cherry little top looks like? Check this out. Give me 1 second, please. Y'all that are listening, did you know you wanted to join the Army the whole time? I mean, is this something like you had seen as a child? You're like, oh man, that's definitely what I'm going to do. I'm just curious. Because I knew some guys, like that, who that's really all that they wanted. All right, look at this is funny. All right, I'll give you a picture of what I looked like when I was just a little cherry Joe. I think I can put this full screen so you can see it better, and I'll pop over to the other side. All right, and this right here is 1988, Fort Bennett, Georgia. And I don't know if you can pick me out with all the rest of them bald fellas over there, But on the third row, on the far right, is future First Sergeant Josh King, and then eventually the cartoon Little Top. And there he is. Look at that. Look at that little ball of melon, full of anger and hate. That's what y'all need, to get a little bit of anger. Hell, a lot of the boys that I had in my unit couldn't even finish a road march. Oh, my back's hurting. Oh, I got a blister. Oh, that blister's whipping the shit out of you. That's what I see. Let's see if I can get over here and hop back to the office. Y'all just need to learn to take a little bit of pain. All right, let me see if I got any of y'all over here chiming in yet. I appreciate you boys over there from Australia chiming in. Almost every time I have a live show, some of our partners from Australia chime in. I do appreciate it. Now, Dave, let me ask you this. Is it a common thing? Do people in some of the other services feel the same way about counseling and about hazing as the U.S.? And I mean the way that, oh, we just don't do that anymore. Or is it more acceptable at this point to, can you still lay hands on a Joe who's jacking things up? I'm just curious. Corey Badon chiming in. Smoke that candy ass. Dig a hole. Was it dig a hole and fill it in? Dig a smaller hole. Fill that one in. You said he joined for 2 years and stayed for 30. Well, Lord, thank you for your service. That's a lot of time. Be wearing a uniform. Let me tell you about one of the big things I jacked up. So when Kuwait was invaded by Iraq back in, was that 89 or 90? I was in 5th Infantry Division. And we thought it was game day. So we went and we painted every vehicle on that base tan. And it was a 24-hour-a-day operation. Well, Private First Class Little Top was sitting in his vehicle in line at about 3 in the morning, slowly inching up as they paint him. Hardly got any sleep. Pulled on up into the thing to paint my vehicle, hopped out, they painted it tan. I rode back and was getting ready to go to bed. Went to bed, got up the next morning to my team leader chewing that ass. Wow, what could have possibly happened? Attention to detail. They painted the whole vehicle tan, but PFC Little Top didn't get the spare tire out of the back of the vehicle. You know what a spare tire looks like once you take it away and the whole vehicle's been painted? It's a damn bullseye. My team was like, good Lord, cherry ass, painted a bullseye and we go into war on your vehicle. You're over under 2 minutes before the elite Iraqi army shuts you down. A couple of sleepless nights and a ton of push-ups. But you learned a lesson though, attention to detail. David says down there in Australia you can't touch them. Yeah, well that's pretty much how it is now. So you got to get creative. I like getting creative with smoking people. I think sometimes embarrassing them is much worse than actually physically smoking them. But then you end up getting some congressional investigation because maybe you did some things that were a little suspect. I think the only way we're allowed to smoke people now is if it is task-oriented to what they were doing wrong. Is that correct? Well, what else y'all want to talk about? I got a couple minutes on here. Had a good energy drink. In case y'all haven't noticed, I always got this Science energy drink right here. They should probably be giving me some sponsorship money. 0 calories, 0 sugar, delicious. That's our First Class Amazing Charlie Company 3156. Chad says the soldiers don't even get embarrassed anymore. They don't even have enough pride. Well, that's another thing. Okay, explain this to me. The biggest thing that drove me, well, 2 things. When I told my old man I was going to do something, and then I would be too embarrassed to tell him I didn't pull it off. But I also had an inherent competitiveness to myself. I don't like seeing other people do things that I couldn't do. And when you weigh 130 pounds soaking wet at 18 years old, you kind of end up buying. Because there's a lot of big athletic boys that can do a lot. What that did was push me and drove me to do more. But now people are perfectly content with just being half-assed. It's a half-assed generation. You like that IOTV over there? It's just in case. Remember in Iraq, we'd always make them wooden crosses. Nice place to put your kit. Delish strain. Look, South Corey Battle knows. Every morning's 10% better when you get your little science in you. I don't like Red Bull. Reminds me of Bad Decisions and Jägermeister and Jaeger bombs. Staying up all night. Energy drink won't let you go to sleep. Think you know what you're doing because you're 6 Jaeger shots in. You know what I'm talking about. That girl don't love you. Anyways, Bad Decisions. PT belts. Lord have mercy. We can talk about this all day long. I get wearing a PT belt when it's PT time. But if you can't cross a damn parking lot without getting run over by a LMTV, the problem ain't the reflectability of your uniform. They are so PT belt crazy these days, I think they made a small PT belt for your PT belt. Hated it. Where'd that PT belt go there, Ranger? Bottom left pocket. Now this is some line infantry shit. I'm sure if you in Ranger Battalion or some other unit, you probably don't know a thing about wearing a PT belt everywhere you go. But you also get pick of the litter. I'm not saying that the rest of the Army, is subpar of who you get, but there's a lot more sheep herding than there is in some of the special operations units. Maybe PT belts are necessary. Lord, I don't know. I just think it's ridiculous. At no point did that PT belt ever save my life. Might have kept my britches from falling down on my no-having ass self, but it never saved my life. What else is irritating you about the Army? Excuse me. This voice makes me cough. I don't know if any of y'all live in Las Vegas? Heading to Las Vegas next month. Going to Adobe Max. It's a creativity conference. That's how I came to be. Adobe makes Adobe Character Studio and allows my producer, Josh King, to create me in all these fine scenarios. So if y'all know anybody in Vegas, tell them I'm en route. Hey, y'all went over and checked out my Redbubble page? I've got a Redbubble page where it's got different things you can buy, like coffee cups and t-shirts and such, and I'm not trying to make a buck off you. It's really just to get, these cartoons a little bit more exposure. So if there's something you'd like you want a coffee cup with your unit patch and a little top on it, holla at me. Write it down on here. I'll make it for you. I'll put it up there. I pull all the profit margin off that thing. There ain't no money being made off that stuff. Just a matter of making them. I'm going to make some stickers for some of my partners at Little Creek. Some of them EOD, there's a medic up there who works with a lot of those wounded warriors up there. Said they watch these videos all the time. I appreciate you watching. So I'm going to make some stickers, send them on up there to you guys in rehab. Thank you for your service. All right, what else we got? I guess I've just been sitting on there bitching for the last 15 minutes. Heading up to the mountains this weekend. Going up there, going to probably hike that up Falls Creek, build me a little hooch, enjoy me a little hooch. Check it out over the mountains. I'll send you some pictures throughout. Well, all right, guys. I hope y'all have a good day. Be safe. Wear your PT belt, I guess. I assure you I'm not gonna. I'm gonna enjoy this drink, maybe have another, and get on my day. Oh, wait, I got some stuff chiming in here. Hold on a second. Stats are bad on. Wants more task-based schools and promotion lines. SSD. What's SD? Hold on one second. Apparently, Sergeant Battle don't like SSD. Depending on where you are in the military, there are different paths to getting your promotions. Morning, Jeff. In the Guard and Reserve, the SSD process is it structured self-development, where you got to get on a computer and basically cheat your way through those things. The point of that is to expose you to some things that you should probably know, but you're not doing on a day-to-day basis. I do not think that SSD builds good leaders. I think experience builds good leaders. I think giving responsibility builds good leaders. And I think taking a little hazing builds good leaders, just me personally. The most difficult thing for leadership, especially in the reserve element where you don't really leave units and go anywhere else, is one day you're going to be an E4 with your partners, Spec 4 Mafia hiding from everything. Then your partner stumbles his mediocre ass onto the promotion list and ends up a sergeant. So then he's responsible for all the dumb shit you're doing. And that's hard. And it's much easier when you change units when that happens. I know you don't ever want to leave your buddies, but it's easier if you leave and go to a different unit and take those leadership roles. All the way, Sean. What's happening, Tim? Tim wants to know how long I've been in the Army. Well, as a cartoon, I joined the Army in 1988. And I had about a 6-year break in service. And then, true story, I got out, I went to college, did the college thing, moved back home to North Carolina, and then 9/11 kicked off. And all my partners that were down in Louisiana got caught up or headed over to Iraq. Lost a couple people I knew, and wasn't easy watching my partners roll out to war when I'm sitting at the house drinking beer. It bothered me. And I said when they got back, that shit ever happens again, I'm going back in. Everybody laughed, okay, you gonna go back in. Well, First Sergeant Thomas Thornton called me. I guess had to be in 2007. Said they got a warning order. Stand by, won't? We're going back. So you know what? That next morning I got up and started running my fat ass around. Went in, got back in, rolled back overseas with my buddies. And then I stayed in. Well, my producer, Josh, stayed in until March. And then I came on the scene to cover things while he is just making cartoons and enjoying a fine retired life. So I've been involved with the answer is I've been involved in the military pretty much since 1988. Morning, Michael. Show me my war face. Ah! Maybe I should make a good war face. How long should you leave the unit before you post back? I left when I got my E7 and left the line unit and headed on over to the 3 shop. And I spent a year walking patrols, working with operations and helping out over there. I'd say about a year and a half I was gone, and then I got the opportunity to take the first sergeant position back at my old company. So I was gone about a year and a half. And I think that was a decent amount. That's probably the least amount of time you can be gone. You know, there were still a lot of people there that knew me, but it was good to be back. I was happy to be back, and for the most part was received pretty well. There were some people who probably preferred I didn't come back, but they kind of sucked anyway. Oh, Michael's king of battle, artillery. Never been artillery. Always been infantry. I did spend a couple years in a mortar platoon, so I have respect for indirect fire. What? Come, Sergeant Major Abear's on here. Good morning, Sergeant Major. How are you? Myself and Sergeant Major Abear fought at dust over in Iraq for a year. Sharing rippets. Just tripping on the whole AO. I can tell some stories on here about some things that happened, but we'll just let that slide. How you doing, Sergeant Major Abear? I got Staff Sergeant Lula on here. Sergeant Lula was in my platoon as a squad leader, moved on, and now he's a recruiter. 11 Charlie and 11 Bravo. What's up, Sergeant Lula? Man, I should get on here every morning. Get to see all my friends pop on here. Troy Douglas at 12 Bravo. Thank you for your service, Troy. I don't know a lot about 12 Bravo. 68 Whiskey. That's how I feel, Sergeant Lula. It is a great infantry day. Every day is a great infantry day. All right, well, I appreciate it. Hey, check it out real quick. I put the old things that take to the field video up on Facebook just recently. Now, I made that at the beginning of the summer on YouTube. Most of the videos I got out there go to YouTube first. Like the one I just did on Team Leader. That's more of an instructional type video. But I've got a new backstory of Little Top coming. When Little Top discovers love. And it bites him in his ass like it usually does. So make sure you tune in for the new Little Top video. It's kind of funny. Evil women. Just saying. Pretty much take half your shit. Anyway, I'm not bitter. Y'all have a good day. Appreciate all y'all's service. Watch my videos. If y'all want anything, if y'all want any, like I said, any specialized coffee cups or anything like that, I'll make it for you and put it up for sale. I'll do it for free. Well, I can't give you the cut for free, but I'll do all the design for free. Just let me know. All right, y'all have a good day. I appreciate y'all's service, and we'll talk to you soon.